bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtapaye shabadeshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike. Ete chamsa kalapumsam krishnastu bhagavan sayam indriyari vyakalam lokam ridyante yuge yuge. Nama sanketanam yasyāḥ sava papa pranasanam pranama dukkha samanastam namami harim param. Nigama kalpa taror gadadam palam sukamakadam ridariva samvedam vivada bhagatam rasamalayam mohoro rasigabu vibhavukaha. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 8th chapter, text number 46. śrī-rājovāca. Nanda kim akarod brahman śreya evaṁ mahodayam Yaśodā ca mahā-bhāgā papau stanaṁ hariḥ. śrī-rājovāca. Nanda kim akarod brahman śreya evaṁ mahodayam Yaśodā ca mahā-bhāgā papau stanaṁ hariḥ. śrī-rājovāca. Mahārāja Parīkṣit inquired further from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Nanda, Mahārāja Nanda, kim, what, akarod, performed, brahman, who learned brahmana, śreya, auspicious activities, like performing penances and austerities, evaṁ, as exhibited by him, mahā-udayam, from which they achieve the greatest perfection. Yaśodā, Mother Yaśodā, cha, also, mahā-bhāgā, most fortunate, papau, drank, yasyāḥ, of whom, stanaṁ, the breast milk, hariḥ, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Having heard of the great fortune of Mother Yaśodā, Parīkṣit Mahārāja inquired from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, O learned brahmana, Mother Yaśoda's breast milk was sucked by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activities did she and Nanda Mahārāja perform to achieve such perfection in ecstatic love? Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritina arjuna. Without sukriti or pious activities, no one can come to the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. the Lord is approached by 4 kinds of pious men: Ato, Jigyasur, Ardati, Jnanicha. But here we see that Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā surpassed all of them. Therefore, Parīkṣit Mahārāja naturally inquired, what kind of pious activities did they perform in their past lives by which they achieved such a state of perfection? Of course, Nanda Mahārāja and Yaśodā are accepted as the father and mother of Krishna. Yet Mother Yaśodā was more fortunate than Nanda Mahārāja, Krishna's father, because Nanda Mahārāja was sometimes separated from Krishna, whereas Yaśodā, Krishna's mother, was not separated from Krishna at any moment. From Krishna's babyhood to his childhood, from his childhood to his youth, Mother Yaśodā was always in association with Krishna. Even when Krishna was grown up, he would go to Vrindavan and sit on the lap of Mother Yaśodā. Therefore, there is no comparison to the fortune of Mother Yaśodā. And Parīkṣit Mahārāja naturally inquired, Yaśodā cha mahā-bhāgā Om jnanati mirandasya jnanandana salakaya chakshuran miritam yanam tasmai śrī-gurave namaha śrī-chaitanya-manobhistam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa-kadamayam dadati sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaganvidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastade Datta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshare Vrijabhano Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivadhari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kalam Nastyeva Gattiranyata śrī-rājovāca Nanda kim akarod brahman śreya evaṁ mahodayam Yaśodā cha mahā-bhāgā papau yasyāḥ stanaṁ hariḥ. Having heard of the great fortune of Mother Yaśodā, Parīkṣit Mahārāja inquired from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, O learned brahmana, Mother Yaśoda's breast milk was sucked by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activities did she and Nanda Mahārāja perform to achieve such perfection in ecstatic love? So here, Śukadeva Gosvāmī is speaking about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his associates, the Brijavasis, here specifically speaking about Mother Yaśodā. So having heard from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, Parīkṣit Mahārāja is inquiring from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, respectfully asking him, mahodayam, oh, learned brahmana, kindly you let me know that Mother Yaśodā, what did she do in order to achieve this position of being able to have Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always with her, and that He's accepting her as mother and sucking the breast from her, the milk from her breast. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī, the learned pure devotee of the Lord, he will explain about how Mother Yaśodā and Nanda Baba achieved that position. So, but here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that Nanda Mahārāja and Mother Yaśodā, they're actually eternally the father and mother of Krishna. So sometimes it is not so easy to understand what these great personalities are saying. Even here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Mother Yaśodā, she was more fortunate or more exalted than Nanda Mahārāja, because she was always able to be with Krishna. She was never separated from Krishna. And that we know that usually the mother, she will take care of the child, of the newborn child, breastfeeding him and then putting on his clothes, giving him bath and taking care of all the needs of the small child, whereas the father is of course supporting the wife and in this way of course also taking care of the child if needed, but the mother is always more close to the child, especially right after the birth, till he's able to walk and stand on his own feet. So, but here Prabhupada is explaining that even later on, even in his youth, Mother Yaśodā, she was never separated from Krishna. Whereas Prabhupada is explaining that sometimes Nanda Baba was separated from Krishna. Because even Prabhupada has explained in the Krishna book and in some places also that Mother Yaśodā and Nanda Baba, Sisi Gonita, Sisi Krishna, Sisi Radha, Shama Sundar, that are forced the parents of Krishna and Balaram, and that the actual parents are actually Vasudeva and Devaki. So the acharyas, according to time, place and circumstances, they will say, or as here write, a little bit different. But the acharyas have explained it, even in another place, Prabhupada has also confirmed that actually Krishna is the son of Mother Yaśodā and Nanda Baba. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained also, and it is indicated in the Bhagavatam also in the actual verses by Śukadeva Gosvāmī. But then the acharyas have clearly explained that Vasudeva and Devaki, the parents of Vasudeva Krishna, the expansion of Yaśodā Nandan, Gopinath Krishna, who is Swayam Bhagavan Adipurush. So he appeared actually at the same time as the son of Mother Yaśodā. So two Krishna appeared at the same time. Yaśodā Nandan, Nanda Nanda Krishna and Vasudev, Devaki Nandan Krishna. So these are very deep subject matters and maybe also secret for the ordinary persons. So therefore the acharyas are sometimes speaking just according to time, place and circumstances. Because generally, for example in Bharatvarsha in India, the majority of the people, they will still accept and say that The Krishna is the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And he appeared in Mathura. And after his birth, after his appearance, he was brought to Gokul. And they do not know that at the same time Krishna, Yaśodā and Nanda also appeared there. And Vasudeva Krishna merged into Krishna. And then later on, as Krishna was going to Mathura, that is not Yaśodā Nandan. Yaśodā Nandini became Aprakat. And then Vasudeva Krishna went to Mathura, and then he went to Dwarka, and then he was in Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse. At that time, the Brajavasis, they also met Krishna. So, but that was still Yaśodā, that was Vasudeva Krishna. And even Srimati Radharani and Balaram, so they actually never leaving Braj. They're always in Braj. But then the expanded form, even Balaram, it says Mool Balaram is always in Braj. And then the expanded form is Shankashan Balaram, who is eternally residing in Dwarka or Mathura. So they were there in Kurukshetra, and even Srimati Radharani, so when she met Krishna in Dwarka, that is the expanded form of Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radharani, Samyogini Radha. And when Krishna is disappearing, or is Aprakat, Yaśodā Nandan and Vasudeva Krishna is Prakat, then Srimati Radharani is also Prakat. And then Viyogini Radha becomes manifested for the purpose of continuing the pastime in this world. And she's crying in separation, and then they meet. That is Samyogini Radha, and that is Vasudeva Krishna. So the Acharyas have explained, and it may not be easy to understand. Actually, the only persons, they will never be able to understand this. Even for the beginner devotees, it may also be difficult to understand, but we simply have to hear what the Acharyas have told, and then we should engage in devotional service, and then it may be revealed to us this transcendental subject matter, these wonderful pastimes. So here also Prabhupada, so just giving some comparison between Nanda Baba and Maria Yaśodā. And of course they're all pure devotees, they have pure love from Krishna. And ultimately they're never separated from Krishna, not even 1 second. Not only Mother Yaśodā, but also Nanda Baba. Even when he's not with Krishna, so to say, because he has to take care of the cows, and he's meeting with the other elders in the village and discussing different things. But he's thinking about Krishna, he's speaking about Krishna. And they are pure devotees. Whenever they are speaking about Krishna, then Krishna becomes present. So they are never separated. But the different moods are there, and so, of course, so there is from one point of view, you may say there is some separation from the external point of view. So Nanda Baba is not with Krishna, but internally is with Krishna. So there is, in separation there is meeting. So Nanda Baba, externally speaking, is taking care of the cows and is not with Krishna, so externally seems to be like separation. But then he's thinking about Krishna, hope Krishna is well, and then he's talking to his friends about Krishna, and then Krishna is with him. Similarly, sometimes even in meeting there's separation. Sometimes Srimati Radharani and Krishna, they are together. And then, because these many times Krishna is externally separated from Nanda Baba and Maria Yaśodā, from the gopis. So therefore they are also apprehensive sometimes. Oh, Krishna may leave any moment. And so one time it happened also. Prem Sarovar. So Radharani was on the lap of Krishna. And so then there was one bumblebee going around and attracted to the beautiful face of Srimati Radharani. She's known as also Suryamukhi or Chandramukhi, like the beautiful full moon, or like a beautiful sunflower. So the bees, they will go to the different flowers, and they will take the pollen and then they make honey. So she was trying to whisk the bumblebee away, but then still the bumblebee always came back, and then Krishna told his friend Madhumangal, who was there also nearby, you just please chase away this bumblebee. So he was doing that and he was successful, and he came back after a few minutes, and then he was saying, okay, I drove away this Madhusudan, this bumblebee, another name for bumblebee, and that is also Krishna's name, Madhusudan. And the one who is taking the nectar, Madhu. And hearing that, although she was on the lap of Krishna, she was feeling immediately the pangs of separation, and she was calling out, oh Madhusudan, Madhusudan, where are you? So these are the transcendental emotions of the eternal associates of Krishna, which can be actually only properly understood by the advanced devotees. Srila Prabhupada has explained in the Nectar of Devotion, what is by Rupa Gosvāmī. So the step-by-step process is explained how to advance in spiritual life from Shraddha to Prem. First we must have faith, and then in the association of the sadhu sangha, then the faith becomes more mature, and then we can properly engage in devotional service, bhajana kriya. And then the unwanted things in the heart, they will go away. Asat trishna, anarthas, asat trishna, being attracted to material things, thirst for material things, which is impermanent, asat. And then, even though one knows one should not engage in sense purification, and one may try to follow Chaturmas Vrat, but then sometimes, due to weakness, one is not able to follow. And again, eats too much prasad, too many rasgulas. So hriday dorbalya, weakness of heart is there. One is trying, but one is not able to remain fixed. Because the consciousness is not purified yet. Some determination is there, but it is not fixed. Because of these anarthas. And then Sarup Brahma, not knowing the actual nature of Krishna. Like there's a difference, Krishna and Vasudeva Krishna, Yaśodā Nanda Krishna, they are non-different, but there's a difference also. Krishna and Vishnu, they are non-different, but they're different also. So we should know this properly. And one who knows that properly, he can become liberated, as Krishna says also to Arjuna. Janma karma chame divyam evaṁ yaveti tatvatah tyaktva deham puna janma naiti mameti swajuna. One who knows the janma and karma of Krishna, the appearance of Krishna and the activities of Krishna, which are dibya, which are transcendental. Evaṁ yo veti tatvatah, veti tatvatah. Veti means to know, tatvatah, veti means to know, tatvata means in truth, properly, completely. So they will not have to take birth again. So there's a difference between Yaśodā Nandan and Vasudeva Krishna, the son of Vasudeva Krishna. There's a difference. They're simultaneously, they're non-different, and they're different also. And even in the highest planet, Krishna Loka, that is divided in four. Dwarkapuri, Dwarkadish is there, Krishna. Mostly in two-arm form his associates are there, Rukmini and the other queens. Sometimes he's showing his four arms. And then he's there at the same time in Mathura also. And then at the same time he's also there in Braj. And then also Mahaprabhu is there in Shvetadvip Navadvip. Just adjacent to Golok, the highest realm. And so he's not different from Krishna, but is there with the mood and luster of Srimati Radharani. So not knowing correctly about the identity of Krishna or the different expansions of Krishna, or even not knowing one's position as being different from this material body and identifying oneself with the body or with the consciousness, with the ego, that is known as Sarup Brahma. Being illusioned about the actual nature of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and our own transcendental nature. and even not knowing exactly the process of devotional service. It's not that whatever you do and then you attain the same goal. Yatamat tatapat, like the Mayavādas are saying, whatever comes in your mind, then you just follow this and then you will go to the same goal, to the Brahma Jyoti. But it is not like that. So if you are worshipping Krishna with some awe and reverence, you will not go to Braj, you will go to Dwarka. And similarly, if you are worshipping Vishnu, you cannot go to Braj, not possible. If one wants to go to Golok, the highest planet, then one has to worship Krishna following the eternal associates, the gopis, Mother Yaśodā in Braj, and following their mood. And that Prabhupada is explained in the Bhagavatam, in the Krishna book. So Mother Yaśodā, mahā-bhāgā, very fortunate. And those who want to also become fortunate, so they have to follow Mother Yaśodā, her mood, how she was, what was her mood towards Krishna, and how she was serving Krishna. But now also Prabhupada has explained, and the Acharyas, that still we should be careful. And we cannot become Mother Yaśodā. That is not possible. Some are thinking and they want to become Mother Yaśodā, and even then some sahaja, and then they will say, I'm Mother Yaśodā or something like this. But it is highly improper. So Mother Yaśodā, that is explained, she is Nitya Siddha, she is eternally liberated. So she is always the mother. She is always there in Golok with Krishna. And when Krishna comes here in this world, it doesn't mean he's not in Golok, he's still in Golok. And Mother Yaśodā, she is also there. But then she, at the same time, she comes here also with Krishna. And then in each universe, Krishna will be there, and Mother Yaśodā, Nanda Baba there also. And then later on it will be explained about Drona and Dara, that in previous life they were doing austerity and they were fortunate to become Nanda Baba and Mother Yaśodā. So that is just just for the common person, to encourage the common person that by engaging devotional service and serving the Lord, then one may attain the position just like Mother Yaśodā and Nanda Baba. So, but we should understand that the form of Nanda Baba and Mother Yaśodā, that is eternal. They are eternally there. And then Drona and Dara, they actually expanded form of Nanda Baba and Mother Yaśodā. So the expanded form of the Lord then becomes the son of Drona and Dara also. So that the Acharyas have explained. And similarly in Vasudeva and Devaki, it is also mentioned about in their previous lives there was Sutapa and Prishnigarbha. But again there also these are expanded forms ultimately of the eternal associates. So the Acharyas have explained. So in regards here to, both Nanda Baba, therefore both of them are mentioned also, that they are very fortunate. And so all the verses of the Śrīmad Bhagavatam are very important. Every verse, every word is completely transcendental. But some verses are more important, especially for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, those who are following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Gosvāmī, and of course the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Because for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the goal is to enter into Braj, and to the pastimes of Krishna with his eternal associates. So, for example, this verse, and there's actually mentioned by the previous acharyas, and they are calling these verses as rasayan verses. Just like in medicine, you have some disease, and the doctor will, let's say somebody has diarrhea, he cannot eat anything. So the doctor will give some diet, some medicine to stop the diarrhea, but then actually having the diarrhea for many days, then there's so much weakness there. Nothing is there in the body. One becomes thin. So first the diarrhea has to be stopped, and then after that when one can eat again. But then so many of the essential things in the body, they have gone out too. So again one has to replenish the body, and so for that purpose a rasayan tonic is given to invigorate the body again, to get some strength again. So the acharyas have explained, of course the process of sadhana bhakti is there, following rules and regulations, vidhi bhakti, but then afterwards in order to come to the high level of devotional service, in order to ultimately then enter the pastimes of Krishna in Braj, which is the goal, then we have to follow the footsteps of the eternal associates of the Lord, the ragatmik jan, who have deep love for Krishna, ragatmik jan. So that is known as Raghunaga Bhakti. So for that purpose, different verses are given, which will help us to imbibe the mood of these eternal associates of the Lord, so that we may be able to perform this process, the second stage of sadhana bhakti, so we may be able to come to the stage of bhav bhakti. On that stage we may attain perfection of realizing Krishna Sarupa and our Sarupa, and then after giving up the body we can enter the pastimes of the Lord. So this verse, and that is one of the verses which are known as the Rasayan verse, which is helpful for the devotees who want to attain the position, specifically in this case, of Mother Yaśodā. And in the Damodar Leela, a pastime proper in the purport and the Krishna books has explained that those who want to attain the position just like Mother Yaśodā, not to become Mother Yaśodā, but to just like to become like Mother Yaśodā in Vatsalya Bhav, they have to carefully, they have to study the description of how Mother Yaśodā is executing or is serving Krishna, and in which mood she is serving Krishna. So similarly here, well here also in the verse, it is hinted that in order to come to this position, one must actually perform auspicious activities, śreya. Auspicious activities have to be performed in order to become to that platform of pure devotional service. But auspicious activities means that under the guidance of the spiritual master, and then engaging in devotional service, which is in the beginning stage, it is like a practice. When one is performing devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master, Vaidhi Bhakti, so that is the beginning of all auspiciousness. Śreya uttamam. If one is engaging in devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master in regards to the Supreme Lord, Mahaprabhu or Krishna, and by doing that, then ultimately one becomes qualified to come to the higher stage of devotional service, and then actually have the relationship with Krishna and transcendental loving exchange. So in the beginning it is like an apprenticeship. If one is, even nowadays to any company, if one is going there, then first one has to get some training. And after being trained up properly, then one will be, and if one is doing everything nicely, then one will be accepted as a full-time employee and work, and then one will get full salary. Similarly in devotional service, in the beginning it is a practice. It is like apprenticeship, like in deity worship also. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one can engage in the service of the Lord. So, always in the mood that we are assisting the spiritual master who is there serving the deities. And we are assisting Prabhupada in serving Gaunita, Krishna Balaram and Radha Shama Sundar. And then by his mercy, Prabhupada's mercy, then ultimately will become eligible to properly serve the Supreme Dhyacha Vigraha, and then ultimately the Supreme Lord. So even Prabhupada has mentioned, if one is worshipping the deities in the temple perfectly, then he attains Archan Siddhi, perfection in deity worship, and which is like Sarup Siddhi, realizing one's Sarup, which is a perfection of life. And then after that one can enter the pastimes of the Lord. So Mother Yaśodā, so we should clearly understand, so that she is eternal associate of the Lord, and but for the devotees who are practicing, so they have to understand that by engaging devotional service nicely, they may also come to that position, just like Maria Yaśodā. And so again here indicated by Prabhupada, so there's a difference between Maria Yaśodā and Nanda Baba, although they are both pure devotees, but she's considered more fortunate than Nanda Baba. And so that also the acharyas have explained that, and we know, so they all have pure love for Krishna. And from one point of view, we should not differentiate, oh, she's better than Nanda Baba, or she's better than the coward boys. They're all perfect and complete, and pure, and they are completely satisfied in their loving exchange with Krishna, like the friends of Krishna. So the friendship is there, and there's pure love there, pure loving exchange, and that is perfect and complete. And they do not aspire anything else, and there is no need. So all of the associates of Krishna, they are perfect and complete. At the same time, the acharyas have explained, there is also a comparative study which is made, and he has done that very scientifically in the Nectar of Devotion, and the other acharyas have confirmed that also. At the same time, there is some difference of the intensity of the love, and so therefore he has explained, so the servants of Krishna there, and so they have pure love for Krishna, but then the sakhas, they are more exalted than the servants of Krishna. And more exalted than the sakhas are those in Vatsalya Bhav, Maria Yaśodā and others who have parental affection. They are more exalted. And then the most exalted are the gopis according to the scriptures. And but it has been explained also, and even, for example, amongst the friends of Krishna, there are 4 kinds of friends who have a relationship with Krishna. So ordinary friends are there, and then those who are more intimate, and then those who are very close to Krishna. Krishna has 4 friends who are the same age as Krishna. They are like bosom friends. Sudam, Sridam, Vasudam and Kinkini. They are the best friends of Krishna. They are the same age of Krishna. And even in one place it is mentioned that one of them is just like the ego of Krishna. One is like the intelligence of Krishna. One is like the mind of Krishna. And so in this way it is explained. So they're very close and they know everything about Krishna and his moods. But the one is with the gopis, or they're not speaking about the gopis amongst the Daja. They're just playing together and having fun. But then there are some younger gopas, friends of Krishna, and they're maybe 1.5 years younger. And they're also very intimate with Krishna, but a little younger, so there's a difference there also. Like Krishna is with best friends, and even in the material world, like boys of 15 years old, they are together. And even another boy who wants to join also, he wants to be with the big boys. He's 13 years old, and he wants to be with the big boys, and then the big boys sometimes are letting the young boys also come. Okay, you can also be with us, but then sometimes, okay, you're the smaller boys, now you don't have to be with us, now we are alone. So it is in Golok it is also, of course that is the original relationships are there in the spiritual world and completely pure and most wonderful. So these sakhas are a little younger than Krishna, but they are also very intimate. So one of the sakhas, one group, and there are also 8 Ashta sakhas. They have very close relationship with Krishna, and they also know about the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. And they are helping, sometimes giving some message to the gopis. Only with these 8 Ashta sakhas. So Krishna is this more intimate dealing in terms of then helping the relationship with the gopis, in his loving exchange with the gopis. Even sometimes they come to Radhakund. And there sometimes, not inside the kunjas, Ashta kunjas are there around Radhakund. And so sometimes Subal is there fanning the couple who are inside, but from outside there's a rope, and he's pulling the rope, and inside the fan is there. But they cannot go inside. So there's a differentiation there also between the sakhas. So Arjun, Subal, Arjun, Gandharv, and a few others are there. Vasant, can't remember all of them, so they are more intimate. And so there's a differentiation there. Similarly, those in Vatsalya Bhav, there's not all of them have the same. So some are more exalted than others. Of course, most exalted are Mahārāja Yaśodā and Nanda Bhav. Nobody can equal their love. Although others have Vatsalya Bhav, not as much as Mahārāja Yaśodā. And amongst Mahārāja Yaśodā and Nanda Baba, so the love of Mahārāja Yaśodā is more deep and even more complete than Nanda Baba's, according to the acharyas. And so therefore Prabhupada also mentions here, so she's more fortunate than Nanda Baba. She's so very intimately connected with him. Of course, even there's some separation there for Mahārāja Yaśodā, because every day Gochar and Lila is there, and Krishna is going out with the cows and with his friends and the cows and calves. But Mahārāja Yaśodā, she's saying, no, you don't go out today, because she doesn't want to be separated. But then Nanda Baba is saying, no, he's a Gopa, he's a coward boy, he has to go out. So then he's going out also, and then she's feeling separation for some moments, but then she's remembering Krishna and churning the butter, and then she's also glorifying Krishna and chanting. So there's a beautiful stotram by Bilvamangal Thakur, Damodar stotram. Yaśodā Damodar, what is it? Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So 70 verses all ending with this line, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So even Mahārāja Yaśodā, so sometimes she's calling out then, Govinda Damodar Madhav, while she's churning the butter to make ghee. And then she's chanting Govinda Damodar, and then he's there in her consciousness. When we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Well, the goal is to see Krishna while we are chanting. In the beginning stage, not possible, but we have to practice. And the pure devotees, but when they are chanting, then they're seeing Krishna and Krishna's pastimes also. That is the goal. So we should analyze sometimes ourselves and see where we are. But anyhow, still we have many years to go. And so, but the pure devotees like Mahārāja Yaśodā, so he's chanting Govinda Damodar, and then she's seeing Krishna. Although externally is not there, but she's seeing Krishna while she's churning the butter and remembering him. And then usually she's hearing, always in the evening, the other boys, they relate what happened today. Oh, this demon came, Krishna killed the demon. Oh, this happened, that happened. And then she's hearing, and next day, because they're all such exalted personality, very poetic. Then she's making some beautiful song, and then she's glorifying Krishna by singing. And even now the Brijabasis, there are many songs glorifying the wonderful pastimes of Krishna with the gopis and the gopas, and they're singing that. Since Mahārāja Yaśoda's time, it is going down in Pampara. You can see village girls, village ladies, especially the elder ones, when they come, they do parikrama, Vrindavan or Govardhan. They're constantly glorifying Krishna by singing beautiful Braj songs. So in this way there's some gradation, even amongst the gopis, the most beloved of Krishna. So there are 5 kinds of gopis, Sakis, Nitya Sakis, Prana Sakis, Priya Sakis, and Param Preshta Sakis. So there's a gradation. They're all Sakis and all most fortunate and most glorious and most exalted. But then the 8 friends of Srimati Radharani, Param Preshta Saki, they are considered then the same age as Radharani. And they also, Krishna's Nayak is the hero, and their Nayika, their heroines. And the wonderful pastimes are there with Krishna, with Radharani, and sometimes also with the gopis. So there's best friends of Radharani, but also there again, just like when Krishna is with Radharani, only the Lalita and Vishaka, they will sometimes not enter in the Kunj. But then the younger ones, the Prana Sakis and Nitya Sakis, who are younger than the other gopis, they are also called as Manjaris. So they are then able to do very intimate service, so they are considered to be most fortunate. Anyway, a very deep subject matter, but so that is the 10th canto, but we may not understand everything properly, and but we should try our best to understand. And just like in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswāmī is explaining the persons, they may not be able to understand, but simply by continuously reading or from hearing by the advanced devotees, then eventually everything will be revealed in the heart. When we are nicely engaged in devotional service, then everything will be revealed in due course of time. So we are most fortunate also that we are able to be here in Vrindavan and this wonderful temple established by Prabhupada, and we can engage in devotional service. And so by praying to these great personalities, by trying to follow in the footsteps, adopting their mood internally, externally, always following Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Rupa Raghunath, externally we follow in their footsteps. But internally then ultimately we have to try to, and that will come naturally also when the heart is purified, when we are free from anarthas and one is fixed on nishtha, then comes ruchi, and taste will be there, and then one will be attracted to some associates of the Lord, then one should try to follow their mood, and then one may attain perfection. So that is a process. So we follow Sadhana Bhakti, but we should invite this Sadhana Bhakti, but we should pray and we should hope and that we may enter also Raganuga Bhakti, so we may attain perfection. As Mahaprabhu said also and it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, without Raganuga Bhakti, without Rag Marg, we can never enter Braj and join the pastimes of Krishna. So, yes, we follow rules and regulations, Vaidhi Bhakti, but eventually we should also adopt the process of Raganuga Bhakti, slowly but surely under the guidance of the advanced devotees, and then we may attain perfection. Especially always by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Any comment, Maharaj or Prabhuji, any comment? Okay, it's 9:05, so we have to stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.